Hello and welcome to SMA Talks, a monthly series where Sergeant Major of the Army Michael Grinston discusses important topics that directly impact the day-to-day business of the U.S. Army. This month, our topic is on the Army's Integrated Personnel and Pay System, also known as IPPS-A, which is designed to streamline the functions of human resources so soldier pay and paperwork are correct. We also have a special guest here, Sergeant Major Gary Krese, the G1 Sergeant Major that has helped plan the rollout of IPPS-A. SMA and Sergeant Major Krese, thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Good morning, glad to be here.
And so what are some of the benefits that IPPS-A will bring to soldiers?
Well, I think it's, first of all, we've tried to do this several times in the past, so I'm really excited that we're actually going to get this through. There were a few delays, but the Integrated Personnel Pay System is exactly what it says. It's Integrated Personnel and Pay System, where in the past we had a pay system and then we had a personnel system. So it seems strange that you would have people and not pay them, so put them all in the one system. That's kind of how, what it's going to be. But it's going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, absolutely, SMA. I think, when you look at the soldier's pay, we want it to be accurate and timely, of course. So many HR actions drive pay. So it only makes sense to have a system that handles both at the same time. And at the same time, we want soldiers to be able to see their record, have transparency, have access, easy access through, say, a mobile app or at home. So really, give the soldier the opportunity to really control their records, control their career, and understand where their actions are at any given time.
So how did this system come about?
Well, this has been years in the making. We've really tried several times to go ahead and integrate the personnel and the pay into one system. And you would assume that if you have a soldier and you want them to get paid, that you have a soldier and therefore they would get paid. So this after year of trying to get this integrated to one system so we can really reduce those systems, it's really about modernizing, our personnel and our pay system into one system so that we can have some more flexibility and to get a system that actually helps us see ourselves very clearly. And so this has been a long time in the making, and I'm really proud that we can get this going.
Really, absolutely. Modernization. The Army has modernized really everywhere that you look. And so many of our systems, one, we have too many systems, well over 200 different legacy systems when you look at all three components. Many of those systems don't talk or they're not timely updates. So there really is a need to get rid of that, and as a part of that, being able to have all three components in one system and seeing all those soldiers gives the opportunity for the Army to do the Army people strategy, right? Acquire, develop, employ, and retain. So now we can see the talent. We need that talent, and we know that we have talent, so we want to keep that talent. And through modernization, the capabilities of the system being able to manage that talent through modernization is very important.
Yeah, and this really helps us with compo fluidity also. So as a compo 2 or 3 soldier comes on Title 10 or goes on Title 32, it really will help us because we have all the compos on one system. In the past we didn't. So I actually, for our compo 2 and 3, when they actually tried to go from one location to the next, they had to fill out more paperwork, and it was really cumbersome, and people get a little frustrated with pay. So I think this has come about on the need that we can really help all three components be better at how we move from one compo to the next.
And so their soldiers' paperwork, it'll be in kind of like they'll have the ability to update it themselves to do what they need to make sure that they're in the best position possible.
Yeah, that's one part I really like about the system, uploading your own paperwork. We have a whole bunch of systems in the world right now that already can do this kind of information for us. And we already actually have some of the online systems. So if I'm promotable, I can upload some of my data in that by 3355 now. So we're just kind of getting into the space where we don't need all these paper copies. So why can't I just do my leave form on my phone and then send it to my supervisor? And then you could actually track where your paperwork is. So there shouldn't be any more of this, well, I don't know where my paperwork is, it's lost or something like that. So you can upload your data, you can see where your records are, you can see where your leave form is or your pass form. I could see that I've got all the documents in my pay. You should be able to see it online on your phone and see who has it and what actions they've taken with it.
SMA spot on. From a soldier perspective, when you submit an action, you want to know where the action is at. So being able to see where that action is at, through the mobile app or through, whatever device they choose to use, whether it's computer, that sort of thing. When you submit that action, there sometimes could be anxiety of where that action is at, especially if it's maybe a stabilization request or deletion request, or even that leave request, because, families want to know, hey, will we be able to take some time off? So from that perspective, giving the soldier a little bit of peace of mind, knowing that when they submit the action, it's not paper-based. We're getting away from the blue folders and lost actions. Everything is consolidated. There's a record of it. And again, that ease of access, efficiency, and transparency is really important.
And this sounds like a major overhaul to the system. So what can soldiers and leaders do to become better prepared for this?
Also making sure that your online records are up to date. If the data isn't correct when we go from one system to the next, it's just going to cause more confusion, more pain as we transition one data. So basically go on, make sure your information, whatever you have in your records at your house is what you have in your digital copy in your profile right now as we upload to the new system.
So all over our social media channels, we really tried to message to soldiers to PMCS their records through what we call the data correctness campaign. And that's really just taking a good hard look at everywhere a soldier has information, and many of our young soldiers don't understand all the places they have information. They need to take a look at their benefits when it comes to, say, life insurance or their DD-93. They need to make sure that their school information is up to date, their LES information is up to date. So not only just taking a look at their SRB and saying, hey, my assignment information is good or my awards are updated, they need to take a holistic look and make sure that their records are good. I would add one thing to that, SMA is training, right? This really is a new weapon system, especially for the HR professionals. So we need our HR professionals trained. They'll have many different roles in the system, and they need to be trained on what those roles are. And so we've had years of experience that HR professionals have been operating a certain way, but now that we are changing the way that we're operating, some of that experience goes away. So getting our HR professionals trained. And then lastly, again, because it is an HR system, but every single soldier will touch it, we need leaders trained, because those who are going to be supervisors, those who will be signing and reviewing actions have to take a 1-hour leaders course, very simple, just a small series of videos. And then we encourage soldiers to take the soldier self-service training, which is also an hour, so they have an understanding of the capabilities in the system.
Well, SMA, Sergeant Major Krese, is there any parting thoughts you have for our viewers?
I would just say that I'm super excited about this system. I mean, for years, I wanted to know what's going on with my actions, and some of the systems I couldn't access. As a soldier, you didn't know where your paperwork was. You just were frustrated by it. Maybe it was there, maybe it happened, then you got to go do it again and again. So it's really exciting to see that all these systems will be integrated, user-friendly, and the biggest thing is we didn't talk a lot about is talent management. There'll be an aspect of talent management where you can say, I have this skill set, you can put that in the system, and everybody can see that, and you can put in your preferences where I could say, hey, this is where I'd really like to go. So there's another aspect of the IPPS-A is that there's a talent management point to this. You can see your records, but also put in your preferences. Also, what are those other skills that you have that you would like to highlight to the military, and help us align that talent. And so, do you speak German? Do you speak Arabic? And I want to go do this assignment. So there's a lot more to the system, and I'm really excited to get this online.
Yeah, SMA got it right. It's mutually beneficial from an Army perspective, again, understanding the talent that exists, and maybe from a lower level commander or leader perspective, being able to take a holistic look in their formation and maybe seeing the talent that doesn't exist. So when it comes to finding the right person that in the marketplace that can benefit their organization, they can see that. And then from a soldier perspective, again, being able to showcase their knowledge, skills, and behaviors, really kind of get away from just administrative records, right? But really showcasing almost a resume. These are my talents, these are my abilities, these are my experiences. So the soldier has better opportunities and benefits the Army.
Well, thank you, SMA, and thank you, Sergeant Major Krese. And thanks to those watching online right now. If you have any questions for the SMA or ideas for future episodes, please leave them in the comments section or use hashtag SMA Talks on Instagram and Twitter.